Good morning, Tristan White here. Welcome to Think Big, Act Small in August, day 18 we're up to. My name's Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work, and I'm here every weekday in August from 8:45 a.m. to about 9 a.m. To support you, likely a leader of a service-based team who's doing your very best to grow yourself, grow your team, build your confidence, and cope with the uncertainty that's happening in the world at the moment. If you are here with me, please say hello in the comments. I'd love to know you're here. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from and what's happening with you. Now, in this series that's been happening since this first week of August, we've covered all sorts of topics, including the importance of having a coach, of how coaching ourselves is important, but nearly all the highest performers in the world, from Ash Barty in tennis to the best entrepreneurs, the best leaders, the best communicators, the best artists, they all have a coach and or a mentor to help and guide them. So very important. We've covered that topic. And this week we are covering the topic, or diving deep into the topic of fear. Now we'll get to fear in a tick, but I want to say hello to Jeffrey. Morning, Jeffrey. Nice to see you here. Again, I had you on the replay yesterday. Missed you live, but nice to have you back here. If you are live or on the replay, feel very free, just like Jeffrey has done, to say hello, ask a question, ask a comment. There's many ways to get involved here. It's to receive the content and just think it through. It's to engage with the comments, and or it's to email me. tristan@tristanwhite.com.au is the way to email me. Now today I want to talk about this idea of fear. This week it's a theme we're working through. On Monday we asked everyone to think, what's something you've done which was hard, which was brave, which required you to dig deep and be courageous as a leader. And we wanted to celebrate and acknowledge those moments of pride that we do where it's really hard. Yesterday, we then dug deep and said, what's behind that? Why did you feel proud? And it's likely because you dealt with some fear and you went forward anyway. You chose to be brave even when you were afraid. And that's what we learned from Brené Brown. That is the topic for today, is digging deeper and further into this topic of fear. Phil's here. G'day, Phil. Nice to have you with us from Brisbane. And Carmel is also here. Hello, Carmel. Lovely and fresh in Perth this morning. Nice to have you joining us from Perth, Carmel. Always a pleasure. Now, to continue further on this topic of fear and of us leaders, acknowledging fear, having fear, we've all got it. We're all scared of various things. We've managed to step forward with baby steps along our careers and along the way. But how do we manage the next step? Because there's always a next step. There's always another difficult conversation to have. There's always something we need to step towards. And I want to ask, how do you do it? How do you acknowledge your fear? How did you manage your fear? How do you cope with fear? Fear, in my view, is a stressor. It's an inner stress. And many of you know that this series, Think Big, Act Small in August, was in part inspired by my live streaming coach, Luria. And Luria's got an encouraging us all to leap forward and to do things which make us uncomfortable. And that's why I'm here. I'm leaning into this fear of becoming the best communicator I can be and reaching forward and engaging with people. And so Luria's, what I'm trying to say as I gather my thoughts, what Luria suggested is, how do we manage the trolls? How do we manage the trolls that show up online that might damage our courage, might make us worry, make us get concerned? But my take on that as us leaders is, there is a much bigger troll that exists for me, and it sure as hell ain't out there waiting to make a comment on something that I'm saying or doing. It exists between my ears. The biggest troll, or the biggest doubter, or maybe it's my lizard brain or reptilian brain, is the thing that stops me more than anything else. It slows me down. It causes me to worry, to overthink things, and to just slow down and not do the things that I think I'm capable of doing. And I do my very best to acknowledge that lizard brain and say, thanks for coming. I appreciate your input. But by the same token, I'm getting on with it anyway, because I believe in what I'm about to say or what I'm about to do. It's really difficult. And I have days and moments where I'm like, oh man, I'm not sure I can do this. But managing, acknowledging, and being aware of these inner trolls or lizard brains is so very important for us leaders. We have to deal with fear, and we have to continue on with the important work that we've chosen. And so my question for you is, when do you notice your inner troll, or when do you notice your inner doubter? And that's the first part of the question. And secondly, what do you do? What do you do in those moments to manage, acknowledge, seek to push on despite the doubt and fear and worry that's on your mind? Is the question for today. And so as I give you time to type in the comments, to think that through and type it in the comments if you'd like. Let me just see who's else here. Catherine's here. Catherine, nice to hear from you. Thank you for being here on Think Big Act Small on August Day 18. I got your email. I thank you for that. I'll get back to you, but really appreciate you being here and getting involved. Thank you. Carmel says, "Amen." Amen. I think that might be to the acknowledging the fear or the lizard brain, if you will. But the lizard brain. I reckon I can try and share my screen here and see if I can get up what I wanted to get up. Let's see if I can find the right thing here. Yes, this is it. Oh, the zoom's not quite right. If I move that across a little bit, this is going to work for us, I reckon. All right, here we go. This highlighted paragraph right here on my screen is a quote from the book called Resistance. It's from Stephen Pressfield. He calls it Resistance, and it's in the book Do the Work. And as you can read on the screen, resistance is an active, intelligent, protein, malign force whose sole object is to stop us from becoming our best selves and from achieving our higher goals. Resistance is the way he describes it, and it is the result of our lizard brain, or a reptilian brain, ourselves talking us out of it, ourselves talking us out of ourselves, and it stops us from being our best selves and from achieving our higher goals. We've all got it. We've all got it. How do we manage it? What do we do? One of the most powerful things that I have ever heard people suggest to do, and this is hard, this is really hard, but when the inner doubter comes along, the lizard brain who loves fear, loves anxiety, and just wants to have you think through things and think through things, the best tool that I've come across is to quite simply say, I hear you, I know you're here, thank you. I'm pleased you're here, because it helps me realize that this is scary, that this is a challenge for me, but I'm going to keep going anyway. And I might stuff it up. I might make a mistake. It may not work, but I'm going to give it my best shot. And if I stuff it up, I can make progress. I can come back. I can circle back. I can improve. I am human. I will do better the second time and the third time and the fourth time, but I will not stop in my tracks just because I've got this inner troll, this lizard brain that's slowing me down. It's really hard. I can't say that I do it. I haven't mastered it. I've got so much work to do on this myself, but that is the tool that I use more than any others. Another one that I use if I'm really worried and can't quite work through it is I journal, and I do my best to get my muddled, challenged thoughts, and I write down what's the biggest fear for me, and what else, and what else, and by writing down the fear or the perceived fear, it becomes a bit less scary and a little bit less worrisome. So that is one thing that I can do. And the last thing, actually, I'm going to turn around and grab something over here. This little book that you'll never think that this is have the right, but this little book you can see. I think you can see there. Can you see it? How to Write One Song by Jeff Tweedy. Now that book, I would have thought that little book, which has been around in our family for a little while, would have a great suggestion here. But the best suggestion that Jeff Tweedy writes in How to Write One Song is to go for a walk around the block. You're stuck on something, writing a song, go for a walk around the block. You're stuck on a challenge or a fear or important conversation you've got to have as a leader, or something you've got to do, go for a walk, clear your head, come back, and then get on with it, is the suggestion from Jeff Tweedy. So that is a couple of ways that I try and deal with this lizard brain. Now, as we check out these comments here, Carmel writes, mostly I just push on after I have almost made myself physically ill. Carmel, that is brave, and that is tough, and that is hopefully something that you can make work. It doesn't sound super sustainable. I hope you can find a way to continue to forge on in a way which is sustainable and is something that doesn't make you so sick every time you have to do something brave. I'm thirsty this morning. Let me have a drink. Alrighty. Jeffrey writes, The troll can be like having the brakes applied or slowing energy. To deal with that, I try to take a breath or two, assess and work out a way to deal with it, to change path and to go around it. Good. Jeffrey, acknowledging it and then finding a practical, reasonable solution sounds fantastic. A little like jiu-jitsu or aikido. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Aikido. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry there, Jeffrey. But yes, acknowledging there's a problem, physical or emotional, mental, psychological, whatever it might be, and then finding a way around it. I like it. Ruth Schultz, g'day Ruth, nice to have you here. I appreciate you saying that. And Carmel says, when I'm freaking out, Qigong does it for me. I think Qigong is how you pronounce that, Carmel. Carmel and Jeffrey, you're writing stuff that you're familiar with, but I'm not. So I'm sorry if I'm not quite pronouncing that as well as I could. Carmel, thank you for your suggestions. Jeffrey, thank you for suggestions. Ruth, Catherine, thanks for being here. Phil, thanks for being here. For today, our short, sharp, think big in August series, that is it. Today was about acknowledging the fears we have as leaders, whether it's in a conversation we need to have with someone in our team, a change in our career, a change in the responsibility we've got, something happening at home as well. Because just remember, being a leader at work doesn't stop when you clock off, so to speak. Our personal and professional lives are very much intertwined. And yes, the way we engage with people in our family is a hell of a lot different to the way we possibly engage at work. By the same token, if things aren't working out at work and we're scared and stuck at work, then it's likely that our personal life and personal relationships will be affected as well, and vice versa. So important we manage this for the good of the relationships in our life. Alrighty. Oh, Jeffrey says good pronunciation. Excellent. Or as my mate Jim from uni used to say, good pronunciation. That is. I'm pleased I got that right, Jeffrey. Alrighty, that's it. My name's Tristan White. Thanks for being here. This has been Think Big, Act Small in August, day 18. I'll be back same time, same place tomorrow morning, 8:45 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time, on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you want to check out any of these replays, the best place is my YouTube channel. Tristan.live is the place to type into any web browser. And lastly, if you're interested in a next level leadership guide that I have published recently, check it out. The link is down there in the comments or in the post here. Just head over to tristanwhite.com.au and click the button on the homepage that says download the guide. Alrighty, that's it. Catch you next time. See ya.